Got another reading vlog for you today, and the first one of October. Another blog tour, obviously. Very busy recently with those, but this one I'm super excited for because it really fits the spooky season vibes, and that is Flight 171 by Amy Christine Parker. Now, what I gathered from the synopsis is that it's a supernatural, paranormal-esque horror. But it seriously reminded me of like Final Destination, the first movie with the plane. And it's set almost its entirety over 4 hours, the space of this flight. And it sounds dark and gritty and more than a little bit gruesome. So I'm excited to get started. In now to Flight 171. Definitely getting really creepy horror vibes, and it does actually reference Final Destination in the first couple of chapters, which I found kind of funny. So basically we're following Devon, who is going on a senior ski trip with her school, 5 months after her twin Emily was killed in a hit and run. So she's not just dealing with a lot of grief. Devon is trying to become her sister, because she thinks it's unfair that Emily died and that she should have died. And we also get this weird relationship she has with Jack, who, from the sounds of it, is her ex-boyfriend, until she basically accused him of being the driver that killed Emily, but she doesn't have any proof, and she's determined to find out who is behind it. Being as this book seems pretty fast-paced and it's not very long, I'll check back in around the quarter mark. Through Flight 171 now, and I have to say it is a roller coaster so far. So we're only 1 hour into the 4-hour flight, but so much has already happened. At first the flight is all normal, apart from Devon and her personal issues with people and this whole thing with Emily dying. But very quickly she becomes aware of an old lady on the plane, and something instinctively feels wrong about this old woman, and she takes a particular interest in Devon. And then this old lady goes absolutely crazy and does something that terrifies the shite out of everyone on the flight. The old lady reveals herself to be more than what she actually is. I don't know what she is. It's not a spoiler because it is mentioned in the synopsis about a supernatural paranormal element. That's where it comes in, centered around this old lady. And it decides it wants to play a game. Essentially, it possesses people. And because the old lady is getting old, it wants a new body. And the fact a whole class of teenagers have boarded the plane. It's like, damn, perfect opportunity here to get myself a new body. But it's not that simple. It tells all the kids that they have to choose one of them to be sacrificed, to be possessed by it. And they've got to do it amongst themselves. It's not going to snatch someone. They have to pick someone. And if they don't do it before the flight is over, it will kill not only all of them, but everyone on the plane. Which includes Devon's mother, who is a pilot, women, men, children. But no one is willing to volunteer themselves for this. From a brief scene we saw slightly earlier, we know that this creature, demon, whatever it is, knows everything about everyone on this plane, like their deepest, darkest secrets. And I have a feeling that over the course of the rest of the flight, it is going to reveal people's secrets and cause a lot of tension between these kids. So it's going to be, I think, like a combination of Final Destination with a movie like Truth or Dare. And we've got this supernatural deity being manipulating the game. And I'm hyped. Like, I'm hella hyped. Like, we're going into hour 2. We've got the setup of the game. We've got tiny little drips about what this creature can actually do. And there's also something going on with Devon, specifically revolving around Emily's necklace that she wears, her locket. And I genuinely can't wait to see where this goes. Like, I'm hella hyped. Halfway through flight 171 now, and it's getting really freaky. Like, think Final Destination crossed with Truth or Dare crossed with The Exorcist, and you might get close to what this book is trying to do, and it gets downright gory in places. Like, there's a whole scene where she makes one kid smash his head against a door on the plane until he basically turns his face into a bloody pulp. He's not dead, but Jesus, calm down, you know what I mean? So yeah, that really ramping up now, and we're into the 3rd hour of the flight, so they only have 1 hour remaining in order to choose their sacrifice. And I think it's gonna start getting gritty now. Like, we haven't seen any secrets revealed yet. It's hinted at the way she's targeting certain people in the group, that they have secrets. And even though Devon hasn't revealed what her secrets are, she's pretty clear in her head that she got secrets. So I want to see that come into play now we're at the halfway mark. I want to see those secrets coming out and see the discourse between the group, and how that impacts on the creature's game, and to see whether it could be one of those horror books that doesn't have a happy ending, because that would be very refreshing. So many horror books nowadays especially feel like they've got to give us not happy, but an ending where everyone lives, or there's no serious stakes involved. Like, maybe, oh yeah, someone gets hurt or whatever, but no one dies, especially none of the main characters. So I'm hoping that this might be one of them. And if it is, then Amy Christine Parker could be a new favourite author you know. I don't know what her backlog's like, and if she has any. I don't know whether this is a debut or not, but if she has other books, then I will definitely be reading them. I'm 3/4 of the way through Flight 171 now, and honestly, this is so dramatic and over the top, but it's amazing. The secrets do start coming out, and I won't give too much away, but we get relatively minor sins, such as framing someone for theft, cheating partner, but they dramatically ramp up in scale from there, from a physical attack that left one of the characters basically crippled, to Devon's secret that she's been hiding, and now we come to the final one. Who killed Emily? Because the creature or being has made it perfectly clear that Emily's killer is among them. It is one of them. And Devon is now going to find out. And I think most of them have agreed that Emily's killer is the person most deserving to be sacrificed. But that might change when the identity of the killer is revealed. I myself think it's one of two characters. I'm not sure which one it is yet, but I'm so excited to find out and to see what happens at the vote and what happens after. Like, if Parker can end this on a really strong note with a really satisfying ending, then I'm going to read anything this woman writes, because like I've practically read this entire book in a single sitting. And I adore it. So as long as it's got that solid, satisfying ending that you need at the end of a book like this, then it's going to be one of my favourites of the year. I can guarantee it. Just finished Flight 171, and holy crap, that last 50 pages was absolutely insane. Right, so much tension, so much drama, ramped to the max, quite a bit of gore, and that ending was top tier. Like, I couldn't have done it better. And it leaves... I don't even know what's called. It's not a cliffhanger, because I don't think this is a sequel. But there could be a sequel. But it also leaves it up to the reader to decide whether it was a good ending or a bad ending. It's not ambiguous. It's like, here's what happened. But what that means is up to you. Like, for me, as a lover of horror, it's a bad ending. Like, shit's gonna go down afterwards, and it's gonna go down so hard, and nobody is safe. But if you want a good ending, it's like, well, yeah, everyone survived, sort of. And they're gonna go home and live happily ever after. It's up to you. Like, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like, even if you're not feeling it and it's not really your thing, get to those last 50 pages, because Parker does so much in them, like so much, and there's so many like last minute connections that you're just like, oh my god. Like the way I felt reading this book was the way I felt reading someone like Stephen King for the first time, and reading his books and seeing all the tiny little plot lines, snippets of conversation, a certain look or a certain gesture coming to mean so much by the end of the book. That's how I felt reading this. Like, it was astounding. Like, an absolute 5-star read, and probably one of my favourites of the year. No question.